We are snowed in at a motel at the Grand Canyon Junction and thought it's the perfect time to talk about all our electronics and how we keep them charged on the road. So as you can see, we carry quite a lot of electronics with us, way more than you would need to cycle around the world. And the reason we carry so much is because we film a lot. We have a drone, we have a bunch of different cameras, and of course audio equipment to record our music. And we have been asked a few times now, how do we keep all this charged, and why do we carry so much? So let's start by having a look at what electronics we actually have with us. All these you can see here aren't actually all that we carry. For example, we're filming at the moment with our Sony RX100 camera and our Rode video microphone. We also don't have all our hard drives included on the table and all the charging cables and so on. But this is our main gear, electronics gear and charging equipment. So let's start down here. Well, first of all, we have our laptop. This is quite a big and heavy laptop, but it's a gaming laptop which we need to edit all the high bitrate footage we film with our high bitrate cameras. And the older laptop we had before, which was an older MacBook Pro, just wasn't up to it. That's why we have to carry this heavy gaming editing laptop. Then here we have our drone. This is the Mavic Mini, the first version, not the Mavic Mini 2. We have the Fly More combo, meaning we have 3 batteries for it. This is really important because each battery with this, especially in cold weather, only lasts like, 20 minutes maximum. And therefore, it's really good to have 3 batteries if you actually film a lot with this drone, because otherwise, you would not get in much flight time. Then the remote. This is actually the main reason why we got the Mavic Mini 1, because the remote is so much more compact than on the 2, even though the camera is a lot better on the Mavic Mini 2. We do, if you're interested, we can do a separate video on this, but we do use a special app, not the DJI Fly app, the standard one, but a special app, so we can manipulate the camera settings on this drone some more, so we get some better performance out of the camera. Then we have our 2 phones. They're both iPhone 8s. I have a quad lock on it, as we've mentioned before. And we use this mainly for navigating, social media, and so on. And flying the drone, of course. iPhones are very bad, or notorious for their bad battery life. So that is the only major downside, that even if it gets cold, for example, we have to take it into the sleeping bag because they would just die overnight. So not super happy with these, but we do like iPhones, so we will stick with them for now. Then we have pretty much our workhorses. These are our 2 GoPros. Luisa has the GoPro Hero 8 with the Media Mod. I have the GoPro Hero 9 with the Media Mod. And we each only have 1 battery for our GoPro, the ones that are inside now. And this is actually enough. Especially with the Hero 9, this lasts me 3-4 days easy without charging it, because we use Quick Start and only record a few clips for a short period of time, which doesn't drain too much battery life, don't leave them running for so long. And with the Hero 8, it doesn't last as long, but if you quickly hook it up to the power bank, which we'll get to later, then it's fine as well. Luisa's Kindle, which is absolutely great because it has crazy long battery life. This lasts for weeks without having to charge it, or months even. So this is absolutely wonderful. And then we have actually a very recent addition, is a little just Bluetooth speaker, which is nice for when we're watching Netflix or listening to music on the road. Yeah, really good. And then finally, our charging equipment. Let's start with the power bank. We just have one very big, I think it's around 26,000 milliamp hours or something, power bank from Anker. We only have one, and this is more than enough. Then our Anker PowerPort solar panel. I think this is a 21 watt, but I'd have to check again. Yeah, 21 watt solar panel, which when we use it in direct sunlight works relatively well, but We hardly ever use it, but we'll get to that in a second. A multi-USB charger with 5 ports and 2 quick charge ports, also from Anker. This should be multi-voltage, meaning it works in European countries with 230 volts or in countries with, or not just European countries with 230 volts, but also in countries with 110 volts mains supply. However, unfortunately, even though we have the correct cable for it, this does not work in here. It just turns on briefly, turns off again, and it's, yeah, something is wrong with this. And for the size, it is pretty big, and the weight, it's very unfortunate that it doesn't work here. So we are actually considering maybe getting rid of this. So as an alternative, we got these two little at Walmart USB chargers, and they work great. And to be honest, we're doing really fine with only these two. Now let's talk about how we actually charge everything. Alright, let's start off with talking about how we keep our phones charged. As I mentioned, we use this all the time, so it's really important for us to have this charged. And the way we do it is we use the Busch & Müller USB-Werk hub dynamo converter, which pretty much converts the AC voltage produced by the dynamo to a 5 volt DC output for the phone. And this actually works surprisingly well. If we go 10 to 15 plus kilometers per hour for a good 4 to 5 hour cycling day, this will charge our phone pretty full. The only thing to keep in mind is when it's cold, especially with the iPhones as I mentioned, we have to usually keep this in the handlebar bag, because otherwise the cold will just drain the battery faster than this can charge it. If you're going uphill a lot or not cycling that much during the day, of course it's not going to charge it that much. The two GoPros, as I mentioned, last with their single battery for a couple of days, so we tend to only have to recharge them with mains power when we have a host accommodation or something like that, or of course in a restaurant or something, or gas station, whatever. We seldom have to put these on the hub dynamo charger, but especially with the Hero 8, from time to time we will have to hook it up while cycling to the power bank. Speaking of the power bank we charge only with mains power when we, like with the GoPros, have accommodation or something, or a place to charge them, and we don't really put them on the solar panel, for example. Speaking of the solar panel, as I mentioned, we hardly ever use. We've used it a few times in summer, and when we've used it, it was able to charge the phones or the GoPros relatively quickly, within a few hours, easily full charge. But we are just, I don't know if we're just too lazy, I don't know. We haven't really gotten into the habit of getting it out too much and haven't really started putting it on the bike, just because we actually haven't needed to do that, because of the hub dynamos and so on. So we'll see if we use it more in future. Alright, last but not least, let's talk about the drone and the laptop. So the 3 drone batteries in this multi-charger we only charge with mains power because they take absolutely ages to charge. But as I mentioned, the 3 batteries are necessary to have somewhat of a decent flight time. Unlike the actual drone batteries, the drone remote lasts forever, easily 5 or 6 charges of the whole 3 batteries. And as you probably have guessed, the laptop we of course only run on AC power, mains power, and actually we've tried editing just on the internal battery of the laptop, but it uses so much power when editing that only lasts, I don't know, 45 minutes then. So that's why we always need a real good quiet place with power to edit our videos. And we can't show you right now, but our RX100 Sony camera with which we're filming this, we actually only have 1 battery for at the moment as well, but that lasts pretty good. We are considering getting a second one, but we'll see. But we tend to just charge it with the power bank on the road once in a while, and that's completely sufficient. Alright, well, thank you for watching our video. If you have any questions about charging or our electronics or our other gear, then just let us know, and Yeah, we'll try to answer your questions as best as possible. Oh, that is horrible. No.